everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Attempted Podcast, where we're on season 2, episode who knows what. I'm Justin.
And I'm Ben, and we're back, and we're having a good time, and this episode's gonna
I'm feeling a bit crabby today.
He's been waiting for that. Like, he literally, before we even started recording, was like, I'm gonna show you my mug when we get on camera. So
that stuff is awful.
As you can see, that this episode's gonna be a bit more random than it typically would be, because we're just gonna kind of do some different stuff. We're gonna first talking about Justin's life, because every time, if you don't notice, that there seems to be these long breaks between episodes, and that's not on
It's
purpose.
Always my fault.
It's always Justin's fault. And this is no different.
So if you don't know, which everybody should know, we live in Texas.
Yeah.
Some of us live in a part of Texas that usually gets very cold, and so they're able to better prepare for things. Or they're just in Florida or Cancun.
I would love to be in Cancun, for that matter.
All Texans would have loved to have been in Cancun.
Not wrong.
All that to say, I live south of Houston on the Gulf Coast, as it were, and it got real cold here a couple weeks ago. So cold, in fact, that our feeble system, privatized power, could not handle it. Yeah. Our feeble, fickle power system. Anyway, everybody knows the story. It was made major national mainstream news. I don't know. National news.
However you want to call it.
It was a big ordeal.
Yeah.
But my home was without power 2 days. And then it stayed out of power because my wife and I were with work. We were operating an emergency shelter, keeping people warm, all that kind of stuff. And she left the house, left the dog at the house to come down to the shelter, come down to the office at about 9 o'clock. And then she got back over there at about 3:30 to check on the dog. Because there's no power, no heat, all that kind of stuff. We're just trying to make sure. She's a winter dog, Shepherd Lab mix. So she's fine.
That's good. That's what the people wanted to know, you know?
Yeah. We didn't intentionally leave our dog in the freezing.
Yeah.
But when she got home, she heard it was raining. Like, she could hear drops of water and stuff. And she went in the house, and there was one room in the whole house that didn't have an inch and a half of water on the floor.
So we're talking.
So she immediately
some Harry Potter magic, right? Like
it was like full on
spell, and water was pouring out of your ceilings.
No. Only we didn't have Mad Eye Moody to stop it.
Oh, okay.
The darn ceiling, you know. So eventually, I get a call. I get home, and all it was like about that much of a split in one water pipe by the front door. That's all. There was enough pressure to where it was shooting water over the entire ceiling, and just kind of like, it probably was going for a couple hours.
Golly.
And so the dog was like hiding under like furniture and stuff, like in the only room didn't have, so she's been acting a little weird, but we've been trying to just be a little extra
You'd probably
nice
act weird too, Your family leaves you, and then the ceiling explodes.
The house explodes. So anyway, we, gratefully, it's a Salvation Army property. So insurance and everything like that, blah, 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 blah. But we have been displaced, and they're talking about it being like more than a month. So it could be 2 or 3 months that we're able to come back. So right now we're in this temporary place, but that's our life right now. Oh, and so where the ceiling fell down, I guess is part to notice. Where the ceiling fell down, it fell right on top of my computer. In the living room. And so, like, all of this that is going on here that you don't get to see, my keyboard, mouse, those are all kind of junky, cruddy. All of the USB ports and everything up on the top of the case got rusted, and we're holding water for a while. The case seemed to dry out okay because I'm using it right now, but like my microphone has in the wiring here, and this doesn't come off, so I can clean it out, but it's got like where the ceiling fell, you had like wet paper mache sheetrock that's now kind of caked in there, and there's like rust on certain pieces. And so
if this podcast goes out, very suddenly, it's because Justin's computer exploded, and
probably
see you on the news at some point.
See you on the news.
Yeah, so that in a nutshell is why we've been gone for so long, because we haven't had any ability to necessarily record, nor would we probably have had time if we did, because we also had a lot of ongoing responsibilities that came with all that's happening here in Texas.
Just
all of it, just everything. So that's kind of where we've been. If you care at all, and if you don't, you don't even have to listen to the first 12 minutes of this podcast. You can just keep moving along.
You're fine, Charlie.
Yeah.
You don't even have to. Don't bother with the first split.
Babe, just move on. Come to this. Come to the next part, which is.
We'll tell you which one to watch. Don't worry about it.
I'll link you where you want to start this video for anybody who doesn't care. But that comes to our next part. So
we've been trying to brainstorm some things, talking about the podcast, talking about what we want to do with the podcast. How we change it, because we do, as things go on, as things progress, we want to kind of keep things fresh, but on another level, we want to kind of keep some consistency. And I think all of us could agree that consistency is going to be a good thing.
In an inconsistent world.
Yeah, exactly. In a crazy world, chaos. That we wanted to add in a bit of continuity between. So a lot of podcasts, have like things that they do every podcast. And so we want to try to introduce some things. We're going to ballpark some things we may try that don't work out, like probably what's about to happen.
Let me ask you a question before we get to that. What does the phrase ballpark mean? We're going to ballpark it. What does that mean?
Can we sit on that for a minute?
You ever thought about that?
That is interesting,
because I think that, my brain consciously understood what you meant.
Yeah.
But my brain unconsciously said, I don't know what that means.
You get the concept of like workshopping something, but you don't know, it's keeping or finding something in the same. So it's kind of like a broad strokes approach. I don't know.
I think you made that up. Maybe. We'll come back to you next week with the answer to that question.
Find out next time on the podcast.
How did we come up with the idea of ballparking?
You know what? Now I want a ballpark hot dog.
Oh. We doing that?
Can we?
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Attempted Optimism Podcast.
We're
going to go try to find a ballpark Frank.
So one of the things that we're going to start doing, one of the two things that we're going to start doing, I put three fingers up, is number one, we're going to start highlighting different streamers or content creators that are sort of around the sphere of our network, around Land Creations, people that use our Discord, people that are doing cool things like Bible studies or video games or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other things that we want to see about doing is Ask Reddit. And so I have two questions for our Ask Reddit segment, and we might call it that. We might call it something else. But the first one's been kind of plaguing my mind. And the question is, and this is the whole format, is I ask Ben a question and he gives me an honest answer. We can talk about it a little bit if it's interesting enough, or it could be a total flop. The first question is, would you rather be clean and not feel clean, or feel clean and not necessarily be clean? Because there's also would you rathers on here, and those will kind of come up.
Be clean but not feel clean, or feel clean but not be clean. Oh, that's tough.
Give me your gut reaction.
I mean, gut reaction would be to go...
I feel like I'm prepared for it, but
the gut reaction would be to go with the first one, which would be clean but not feel clean. But then I think about how important feeling clean is for a daily basis. And I think about I used to work a coffee shop, okay? And I had to be there at 5 a.m. to open doors, start making coffee for the first people to come in at 5:45. And there were many mornings, and my wife will attest that this is most likely very accurate of who I am as a person. There are there was quite a few mornings where I woke up late, not late to work, but late in the fact that now I have to cut something out of my morning. So if it was a morning that I was in a real rush, it would be like, let's just put some clothes on, put a deodorant on, change the hair up. We're good to go for the day.
Yeah.
But there is nothing worse than not feeling clean on those days. Because like I'm a very oily person. I have very oily skin.
We shiny.
It's just yeah. I have a natural glow about me. That's what people used to say. But I think they were referring to my acne. But there was just nothing worse than that, like not feeling clean.
Yeah.
So like I think for the sake of the people around me, I would want to be clean. But for the sake of myself, I want to feel clean.
Yeah.
Is this a
That's a good answer,
choice?
actually.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I would in every way want to feel clean. And here's why. I have I don't know that they're phobias, but there's certainly things that I find icky. And one of them is when you touch like a greasy hamburger or something. And see, you're already there.
Why did it make me gag a little bit? Like,
exactly. But like, it doesn't even have to be greasy food necessarily, but there's texture on my hands now, and I can feel that there's texture on it. And so my wife thinks I'm a total freak of nature, that I will get up in the middle of a meal and go to the bathroom and wash my hands vigorously.
Okay, that is kind of weird.
Okay.
You might have like
it is a little weird, and it's gotten to the point where. That's actually a good point. I might do that. But like if I'm driving, you know how some people can drive and they'll, you know, steering wheel in one hand and they'll be like doing that claw thing with a hamburger or something. I can't do that. I also can't do things like getting chicken nuggets or something when, you know, you're on a long drive, you're trying to find something to eat.
Nuggets while you're driving?
No, because I get the oil on my hands.
So like your wife,
and so then I touch the steering wheel and I hate my.
So like your wife has to feed you is what you're saying when you're on like long.
No, what I found is my optimal place of eating Taco Bell, because the quesadilla, 9 times out of 10, the quesadilla is something that I can deal with. I can hold that.
What's the strangest thing?
Hate my life.
What's the strangest thing you've ever tried to eat while driving?
I tried to eat a pork barbecue sandwich from Buc-ee's.
Okay. Yeah.
And it definitely got on not just my shirt, but also my pants.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wearing the meal.
I tried to.
How about you?
Yeah, I tried to eat a whole Raising Cane's chicken strip combo with the sauce. You know how hard?
Sauce? You know how hard? You were dipping? That's so irresponsible.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever done while driving?
Good for you. I like
What's the weirdest thing you've ever done while driving?
I don't know that I want to answer that. I'm trying to think.
I'll answer for the people first. I used to read. I used to read books while I was driving. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Good grief, man!
Like I used to read novels, not like just books, like literal like 1,300 page novels.
Like you would just.
No, you got one hand on the steering wheel, right?
Yeah.
And you got the book right here.
I love how you're holding that book.
Well, you have to hold it like this, you know, because you got to put your thumb in the crease so you can see both pages.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I used to read books all the time because I used to drive
I hold my books from the top. I don't do that.
Oh, okay, psycho. Yeah,
that guy kills people.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got a bedroom here in the mental hospital for you. But no, because I used to drive like 7 hours every weekend. So like 3 hours one way, 3.5 hours one way, 3.5 hours back. And I'd get bored because like when you drive through the middle of Kansas, like the chances of you actually hitting somebody are probably lower than the chances of you hitting somebody while flying an airplane. Like just because of like there's just nobody out there.
No one else exists.
Yeah, okay. So that was Ask Reddit. Ask me anything. Do we have another
I got another one.
Yeah, okay.
I got another one.
Excellent.
This one is more, so some of them are going to be goofy, some of them even them out. What is the best response to the question, why are you so quiet? What is the best response to the question, why are you so quiet?
The best response? Go ahead and give me the top one before I answer.
This one is in quotations. I prefer to listen.
Why is that so much better than mine?
Let's see. Another one is their response to the question, "Why are you so quiet?" The response is a penetrating and silent stare.
see that would be a great one. I mean, my instant response to "Why are you so quiet?" was, "I'm secretly plotting your demise." You know, like that's
actually that is the next one down. It says, "No one plans a murder out loud."
Yeah, that was my instant thought as to like why somebody would ask that.
Yeah, here's another one. Russia sent me here to listen, not talk.
Now that's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay, I like that segment. I think that's going to be a good addition to the show because people will always look forward to like what the next Ask Me will be.
Yeah, right. And if you want to participate, if you want to throw us a wacky would you rather, some kind of question like that, feel free to send it in the comments, and we will make sure to get that in the show as well.
Yeah. All right. Here's what we're doing with the last half of the segment for this show. Like we said, we're all over the place, okay? Mm-hmm. This is out of control. It's outrageous. What we are doing is we're living out, I think, most kids' dreams, okay? And I think most kids have the dream that they could live in their favorite TV show, or they could be in their favorite universe, or they could be, right? Like, people want to be superheroes.
I thought you were about to say, we're living every kid's dream. It's way past our bedtime, and we're still popping. Let's go.
No. So, like, you know, like when I was a kid, I remember my mom used to tell me this story all the time. When I was a kid, people used to ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I would tell them a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And my sister would get mad because she's like, you can't be that. I think science is going to prove her wrong someday. I will become a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one way or another. All right?
Yeah, I support it.
That's beside the point. What we're doing tonight is we're going to enter into one of my favorite worlds, which is Pokemon.
So hit me when she sees
what we're doing is Pokemon has 8 generations. We're doing generation 1 tonight. We have to pick a starter Pokemon, which is what backstory for Pokemon. Each trainer gets to go pick a Pokemon. That Pokemon they get to raise, become their best friend. Okay? We are picking a starter Pokemon tonight from the first generation of Pokemon. Justin and I are going to choose. The first choice we see right here, I'm going to use my mouse right here. We got Bulbasaur, okay? This is the starter. He's a grass Pokemon, obviously. We've got our fire Pokemon, Charmander. We've got our water Pokemon, Squirtle. Justin, pick your starter Pokemon and tell us why you're picking that starter Pokemon.
I mean, here's the thing. How about you pick for both of us?
No,
because you already know what I'm gonna choose.
No, I want you to choose.
I am 1000% a fire lizard dude.
So you're choosing Charmander, is what you're telling me.
Charmander all the way. So, but I love the aesthetic of Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard.
Okay, so he is going fire Pokemon. All right. He's going with a classic staple. It's like everybody's favorite Pokemon, except for it's not anymore. We won't get into the whole argument on it, okay? But so he's going fire.
So what evolution are you going with?
I'm gonna break off of it. I'll go Bulbasaur just for the sake of the 3 that we have here, because we have only 3 listed here that we're showing. I'll go Bulbasaur. Okay. Mm-hmm. And though you'll beat me in the first rounds, I'll beat you in the end game. Thank you for.
I don't believe that at all.
Now we have to choose a legendary. Okay.
So I didn't think you were going to add the 2 on the end.
They're all legendaries. These are the legendaries for the first generation of Pokemon. Which legendary are you going with? So you've chosen Charmander as your starter. Now you have to choose one of the 5 here.
I would normally so before I knew Mew and Mewtwo, I would normally pick Moltres because
you're doing
Moltres
double fire?
Double fire Pokemon. I do the whole gambit. But since you've added these 2 on, I have to go as Mewtwo is always going to be the most interesting Pokemon to me because he was Mewtwo because he not only is powerful but also he's sort of damaged in an interest and he kind of has his whole if anybody Pokemon movie
saddest movie I've ever seen.
Right. So that's kind of my whole. All right, guy, come on.
You know the scene, dude. Yeah, you know the scene.
Yeah, I know what time it is. But yeah, so Mewtwo and Charizard, I think scary pair, and so I'm going to have to go Charizard and Mewtwo.
Okay. I'm 100. There's no doubt in my mind what legendary I choose here, and it has to be Mew. That Pokemon's adorable. That's
yeah,
why,
you
that's
like
why
cute
I'm
stuff.
Look how cute that Pokemon is.
Yep.
That's a tiny pink flying mouse.
I 1000% agree with you, man. And it's like, isn't that the hardest one?
Yeah. But also like
nearly impossible.
So I think Mewtwo's cool, but there's something very creepy about a Pokemon that can just literally talk to me, like have a full-blown intellectual conversation.
Yeah.
That's kind of freaky. You know what I'm saying? Like that Pokemon's gonna dissect your brain. Like Mew's like cute and just says Mew over and over. Mewtwo's like, I'm gonna read your thoughts and tell you your darkest secrets, and then I might put you in a Pokeball. You know?
Gosh, he's so freaking cool.
Yeah. So that was our choices. I know that some of you checked out hard on that for Pokemon, but we're nerds. If you don't know that, now you know. Look behind me. So we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep picking generation. It's gonna get weirder though, because I don't think Justin's played all the games. So there's gonna be a bunch of them,
the first 3 generations.
Yeah, there's gonna be some ones that we get to, and you're just gonna be like, what are we even doing at this point? So that is our Pokemon choices, our Generation 1 Pokemon trainer choices. That's what we have going. I think let
us know in the comments what yours.
Yeah, let us know what you would choose. Well, thank you for listening. If you're here at this point in the podcast, thank you for joining us. Let us know your answers to the Ask Me questions, and let us know what starter and legendary Pokemon you would choose if you're a Pokemon trainer like ourselves. And we will see you hopefully on a normal schedule from this point on, but obviously there's no promises because